Welcome back to our two dads talking about schools. Yeah, very important topic.
In general,
How
do schools impact how the real estate market?
Yeah, so there's a catchment area for every school. You have to live in that catchment area. You could lease as well. And then what we've noticed is, it could be like across the street is a different catchment area. Those houses can sell for significantly different prices.
Because they're in a district that with schools that are considered better.
Yeah,
exactly. And there is measuring tools for that. Most people use the Fraser Institute measurement tool. It's one tool.
Link below. Yeah, but those are also they're not as timely.
They are not as timely. We can get into the good and bad of that.
Yeah.
But traditionally, there are some schools that have been considered better than others, and therefore the houses in those districts can be worth more. And in some cases, in some areas, I find particularly in the burbs, I don't know,
you're right.
It's hundreds and hundreds of thousands, like $300,000 more, and you go, wow, that's a big premium to be paying for that place where it's Mineola or something.
Yeah,
like that.
we just sold a house in Oakville that was in a catchment area for a great school. It was very close to a wealthy area, and we got 30 bids.
Yeah, and before I came into real estate, I didn't really understand this.
Yeah.
And I remember having a conversation with a friend of mine. He was a doctor, and he paid a crazy amount of money for his house. And I said, Pat, why did you pay so much for that house? And he said, because of this school district. And I said, okay, but does it really make that big a difference? He said, well, this school is considered better than the local private school, and I have 3 kids, and that private school is $30,000 per kid.
Yeah.
And this was 20 years ago.
Yeah, so now
it's probably that
40
private
to
school
60,
it's 50, 60.
Yeah, okay.
So
So
he just
$180 grand a year.
so he just did the math and went, it's a real easy decision for me, times 3, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes this can have a huge impact on, if you're going to send your kid to private school, it doesn't matter, then maybe school district doesn't.
Yeah, it
but
matters
for the
less,
rest, for the rest of us, it definitely
100%.
does.
People don't think of it usually when they're buying their first home.
Right.
Like we had clients that bought before we knew them, and now they had a baby, and they're like, uh-oh.
Yeah, I would say there's 2 types of clients that we deal with, and it's we can kind of laugh at it now because by the way, we were also these clients.
Yeah,
but
I had no idea.
it's the client who is buying, or we call it upsizing, who already has a kid, and then there's a client that are probably going to have a kid in the next 2-3 years.
Yeah.
And the way they go through the process is 2 very different things because once you've had a kid, you are very much paying attention to different issues like schools. So the people who have a kid, it's very easy to walk them through the importance of this. But there's a lot of guys who aren't fathers yet, and they just have no idea.
They're like, oh, this is a cool, gritty neighborhood.
I got a pub on
down the road.
and
you're going to be there for 2 years, and then you're never going to go step foot in that pub again.
And I bring up schools to them, and they look at me like I've got 3 heads. They have no idea what I'm talking about. So, but I bring this up because we actually do talk to those clients about schools. Yeah. It's hard for them sometimes to visualize. Say, you really do want to consider this. I just actually talked a client out of a certain area in a house that they wanted. Well, I didn't talk about, but I said this is a very important issue.
Yeah.
Because literally across the street, they saw this house as being in this school district. Their friends were over here, but they didn't realize that they weren't in the same school district.
Yeah.
Okay, and that's why this house was $200,000 less.
Yeah.
Okay. So
that's a lot of money.
It is. Yeah. It is. So unfortunately for them, that put them in an area where they could afford it, but they wanted to have the benefits of being on the other side of the street. So it's something that we are constantly evaluating, particularly with our upsizer clients, and it can be a topic that is of interesting debate. Let's just shall we say.
Well, we hope you found that hugely helpful. It's kind of a super important topic if you're going to have kids. And if there's any specific questions,
bring your questions because we don't have all the solutions as well, but we need your questions.
This is experiential learning on our part.
It is.
So let us know.